focusing. How do we make housing affordable? There are different ways, and I'm not an expert in financing. It's just reading up, and I think when we do get to the actual work, we'll get the professionals to do it. But on the face of it, I do think that we need to find ways to make the cost of credit lower. We need to make loans affordable to people at a lower cadre. Currently, there are only, from my information, 24,000 mortgages in a country of 40 million. That's really low. What can we do to make it affordable? The current program of government under this agenda for priority areas is to enable Kenyans to buy a house for the same amount of money they are paying rent. The thinking is if you can afford to pay rent, and you are told for that amount of money you're using to pay rent, we want you to buy a house, then as government we should be thinking, then what do we need to do to make that possible? So I think we need to look at different financing options that make it possible to access credit at that rate, so that you can pay over a longer period and you live in your house. Instead of paying rent, you're paying rent towards home ownership. We can give incentives to first-time homeowners, because I think one of the challenges we face is many of us are risk averse, and we have this idea that mortgage is risky, don't do it. But if we can assure you that for what you're paying rent, you can buy your house, I think it would be possible to build houses at a lower rate. The National Housing Corporation should also be enabled to give loans to rural Kenyans. I think they used to do it a while back. I don't know what happened. But if you're in a rural area and you're given a loan of 2 million, you can build a good house. So I think we need to enable the National Housing Corporation to support Kenyans to get loans to own homes and give them a longer period to pay so that it's not strenuous. Financing options can be worked out with government. The other way to lower the cost of land is, of course, to make the price of land predictable. You know, the price of land in Kenya is not predictable, especially for projects, and that is what Honorable Cecily Mbarire was asking. I am aware that the Ministry of Lands is working on a land value index, so that if you're coming to invest in Nairobi, you know that if I go and buy land in Embakasi, this is what I expect to pay. If I go to buy land in Kajiado, this would be the price. So it is, I think, important that we fast-track this process of creating an index for the value of land, so that Kenyans, or so that public projects especially, are not expensive. Because what happens is, the moment Kenyans know that a railway is going to pass through my neighborhood, it's speculation. The price becomes 3 times what is the normal price is. But if you create an index and you know that this is the price and it's not going to go up, if it does, it will be by a small margin, I think then we'll be able to manage the cost of land for public projects. So my priority would then be to work with the ministry to finalize this land value index and maybe avail a bill before Parliament if it's not already there. I'm not sure of the details, but I know the ministry is working on an index. I'm aware that there's a pilot project in, I think, Mombasa and Bomet to see how it's going to work. So these are some of the programs that we need to experiment on and see how quickly it will turn around in terms of lowering the cost of land.